Hello, welcome back. This is Jacob, and today we're going to be continuing the module short story narrations for the various operators in Arknights, today featuring the one for operator Angelina. So, before we go into the usual spiel with these episodes, let me just quickly say that moving on from today's episode into the future, every single episode from now on will feature the module short story first, and then the technical jargon about what the module does, the upgrade paths, and so on. The reason mostly being because the thought already entered my head a while ago, but I kept forgetting to do it for the past couple of module videos, so apologies. But it makes way more sense to do it this way as well, because of the fact that this channel is pretty much based on narrations of all things Arknights, right? So the story from here onwards will be coming first, and then we're gonna be doing the technical part. So, like I said, let's go into the story, shall we? First off, when it comes to the module itself, the module is pretty much, when it comes to the art of the module that is, it's pretty much the tip of the staff weapon that Angelina uses, and pretty much the title says it as well, Gravity Calibration Module. Let me also say that this module itself, the short story, is pretty much being told by Angelina herself. And while for people who were with the channel for a while now know that I do, for stories where the character is talking, do like a character impression kind of thing. This is a short story, therefore I will not be doing that, so apologies. But it will be easier to listen to, and easier for me to do. But anyway. Let's begin with the story. Like I said, the title of both the module and the short story is Gravity Calibration Module, and this is how the story goes. I had this bizarre experience once. It was when I only just found out I had a ripophy, and they kicked me out of the city. There was this messenger who'd been sprinting to the wasteland settlement for nights on end, just to hand me a letter, so she wouldn't let anyone's goodwill down. Maybe she noticed I was kind of out of my senses, because after I took the letter, she suddenly held her hand out at me, all serious. If you're feeling down, I have this trick to make someone relax for a little. Do you want to give it a shot? I was permanently conscious about contact after my whole ripophy diagnosis, but she grabbed straight onto my arm. Next thing to hit me was how my own body had gotten lighter. So light I almost couldn't feel its presence anymore, and so I couldn't feel the originium in me either. There was light shining out of her staff, arts glittering like fireflies and circling around us, fading in and out. Then I realized we were fireflies floating in the air too. The land swayed away beneath our feet, and then I couldn't see my own shadow. All I saw was nomadic cityways stretching into the distance, the lights from all these settlements flickering like fireworks. Light as a feather, right? All your worries and cares floating like dust now. Along the nomadic city streets far away, the lights strung together into lines, with the skyscraper shadows melting into the night. I used to hurry along their walls down in the street, and the buildings always stood there being so ice-cold and mighty, but now they seem so insignificant, distant and innocent. Deep breaths, in-out, my breathing fused with the wind. We peacefully floated in the night breeze, with the wasteland sand low below us, and all the stars in the sky felt within reach. Congratulations, you've blown the dust away, I heard the messenger airily say. And that is already the short story. It is... I need to say this. This has been... After I read it, this has been irking me. But first, let me say that this is pretty much, I believe at least, Angelina's origin story to how she came about her arts, I'm guessing. Because in her file, it only gets described that when Rhode Island reached out to Angelina, or rather when they discovered her, she was already floating about from rooftop to rooftop and using her arts as a messenger of sorts. But yeah, in general speaking, this seems to be like a interesting short little origin story to how she came about to use gravity-based arts. And I'm kind of curious of who is this in this story, because I don't remember if it was ever mentioned who the messenger is in particular, because I don't believe they are a Rhode Island messenger, considering she's describing that it's someone who delivers letters from city to city in the region that she was in. Another thing I want to point out here very quickly is the color of her originium growth on her skin. And then I'm pointing this out because in the vast majority of cases, the oropathy, when it starts appearing on the skin, or rather replacing the skin slowly, is a dark obsidian black kind of color. In her case, it is a very light to dark blue. In another operator's case, for example, Todifon's, hers is red orangish kind of in color. But it's a very interesting thing, and I don't know, and I want to say just this very quickly, I don't know if it, or rather I don't remember if it was ever specifically set in on the global version of the game so far in any of the side stories, why this different type of color exists in some cases. If it has something to do with something like, and I'm just speculating here, like if it is some kind of industrial version of Originium that got chemically altered or something like that, then maybe it has something to do with that. But if on the other hand that was already discussed and revealed on the Chinese side of things, which is ahead of the global version, of course, please don't tell me. I wanna read that for myself when it comes to the global part. But what I will say here is her module short story is short, and so is her file. Why am I pointing this out? Well, first off, I think she got done dirty with this, and I am saying this because she is a 6-star operator. 6-star operators usually have like paragraphs of text. Even their module stories are way longer than what Angelina is getting, and I don't know why this is the case with this operator. Even her operator record, which consists of 2 parts, it consists of 2 parts, but it's essentially one story continued, is short. The video that I have on the channel, where I recorded both parts in one go, is literally 20 minutes. I think it's 20 minutes flat. What I'm trying to say here is, why has this girl been done so dirty when it comes to any story surrounding her? Anyway, let's go into the technical side of things now. First off, what does her traits and talents do in her original state? Well, first off, the trait deals arts damage and slows the target for a short time. The first talent is called Accelerator Field, which is all allies gain attack speed plus 7. And the second talent, Part-Time Job, restores the HP of all allies by 20 per second when the skill is not active. Now, to note here is when the skill is not active, which means if you have her on skill 2 or skill 3, she will not be attacking, but she will wait until you manually activate the skill. Then she goes into attack mode. Which means that if you have her on those 2 skills, as long as you don't trigger the skill, she will have this passive running, and it will keep healing all allies by 20 HP per second. And as we're gonna see in a moment, that gets buffed. But first off, what does the module do in its normal state? Well, it changes, as always, the trait a bit around. So the trait, again, in its original state is deals arts damage and slows the target for a short time. The module changes that to attacks deal arts damage and slow the enemy for a moderate period of time, pretty much changing it to a longer lasting slow. So, what do we get with further upgrades on stage 2 and 3? Well, besides the usual increase in the basic flat stats to, in this case, max HP and attack, we get an improvement to the second talent part-time job, which, as you can see here, goes from the 20 HP per second to all allies to, on stage 2, goes to 30 per second for all allies. And on its final third stage, that whole thing goes up to a 35 per second when she is not using a skill. So a pretty decent passive healing buff. Now I'm pointing this out, and I honestly didn't know about this before recording this narration, but I'm glad I kind of peeked at the at the wiki page. Stated on the wiki page is that this passive healing is actually affecting units that cannot be healed otherwise. So if you have someone who in their traits or talents has listed that they cannot be healed by medic operators or other medic units, this trait should be affecting them. I haven't tested this out myself, I only just saw this on the wiki, but if someone can actually fully confirm this in the comment section at some point, I would be glad and appreciative of that. But I'm so far haven't been led astray by the wiki page, but yeah, just saying. Anyway, this is pretty much what it does. I did see on the wiki page that she will get in the future a second module as well, so once that comes around, we will obviously do a module narration on that one as well. But for now, this will be it for the video. All I can say is, I hope the second module has more text. Please, can we do something for this girl and give her, you know, more story and more text? And kind of feeling after it clicked in my head how little text there is overall for her, it kind of made me feel bad. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of made me feel bad for her. Why is there so little text? Anyway, thank you all for listening and watching this video. I hope it was entertaining, and I hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are. And in the meantime, I will see you in the next part. Until then, bye bye.